Hello and welcome. This should be working now, ideally. Share. Confusion. How do you publish? I am confused. This should be working now, please. I'm very intrigued here. There we go. All right. Had to make sure it's working. All right. Getting to a comfortable seated position is very important. We aren't going to need a strap today because we're going to do some sun salutations for the movement. About 3 minutes late. That's okay, better late than never. Spend 3 minutes extra. Finding a comfortable seated position is very important. This is where using things like props, a yoga block in particular, are very important. If you don't have a prop like a yoga block, a book is a good substitute. Just make sure that you have a blanket or a towel to place over top of it, especially if it is a hard-covered book. You want to make that surface as comfortable as possible. Additionally, if you don't have a yoga mat, I recommend something about an 1/8 to 5/8 thickness if you can. Thick blanket will substitute for now until you get to more rigorous yoga practices. You will need something a little more robust than a blanket. As we sit into our body, I'm going to talk a lot about the muscles that we use, the bones that we should be sitting on, and the posture that we use to give ourselves correct posture for our spine and hips. This, again, keep in mind, is easy. This is the entry into meditation. Proper posture is the source of meditation where you start. So if you are looking to better your meditation practice, posture is the way to go. If you are going to sit on a yoga block, just remember, as we find our sit bones, you want to sit on the edge of the yoga block. This will help open up your hips, get your legs underneath, or your feet underneath your legs, and allow you to cross your legs much easier, especially if you are struggling with this easy pose here. If you are comfortable with half lotus or full lotus, by all means go ahead and do so now. Get yourself situated, get yourself comfortable, pull your sit bones out of the way. The best way that I can explain to do this is reaching underneath your glutes, pulling your glute out of the way of the bone at the bottom of your pelvis. That's your sit bone, pardon me. And you're just going to sit into that. What that's going to do is it's going to push your pelvis from a tilted position to a vertical position, which in turn will help push your spine into its natural S-curve. As we sit here, find your comfortable, find what works best for you. Nobody can live inside your body and be you. So it's very important that you find the comfortable for you here. If you can do full lotus comfortably and stay in it comfortably for a long time, I am not super seasoned with it, but I am doing my best. So half lotus it is for me for now. As we move up through our pelvis, we are coming to the pelvic floor. You want to be able to pull these muscles up to the stomach. I go into greater detail in my 45-minute videos and sessions, so look forward to those if you can. Or you can check out the ones that I've already recorded. From there, we move up to the solar plexus chakra, into Swadhisthana chakra. We're pulling our belly button to the spine, getting those oxygen and blood down into the organs and helping those organs function properly. Additionally, protecting that lumbar spine. From there, we're going into Anahata chakra. We're pulling our shoulder blades together with our rhomboids, rolling the shoulder blades down, opening the rib cage nice and wide, allowing the diaphragm to do its job, expand and contract nice and easily, and get those deep, strong, hearty breaths in. If you want to support the hands down by the glutes into the spine, or you can rest the hands on the knees or even in the lap, whatever you prefer to do here. From there, we're moving up to the chin into Jalandhara Bandha, tucking the chin down, reaching the crown of the head to the sky, and engaging into Ujjayi breath. Again, if you want a greater, deeper breakdown of these, check out for my 45-minute sessions. They will give you a better description and breakdown of how to achieve these. I am going to switch legs now. If you want to switch legs as well, go right ahead. Just warming up my knees. Get into your breath work. Solidify that posture. Maha Bandha, engaging all three power locks at the same time here. Ujjayi breath, breathing through the nose. Getting that healing vibration through our body, through our nervous system. Reducing stress, anxiety, activating the parasympathetic system, deactivating the sympathetic nervous system. If you have trouble sitting straight, I highly recommend sitting against a wall until you gain the strength through your core and back to be able to sit independently from the wall, or again, use those hands down by the glutes. Push that spine straight and strong. Set your intentions and affirmations here. We are going to do Hatha sun salutations. To get into our movement. Very simple, very easy movement today. Crescent pose, warrior one, and a right angle pose. Working on the strength in the legs and calves, hamstrings, glutes. Reducing fat around the waist and abdomen. Working on our flexibility and posture all at the same time. No simple task, nobody is the same. We can all benefit from the timeless teachings that yoga offers. Let go of everything that happened before we started. Let go of everything that you need to do after you're done. Focus on your inhales and exhales. And this will be a glorious ride. About a minute or 2 left here, and we'll get straight into the movement. To find a better angle for my camera so that you can see the whole practice, but it is what it is for now. Do your best and forget the rest. From here, we're going to stand all the way up. We're going to stand at the front of the mat. You won't be able to see my torso to start until we get down into the sun salutations and into the movement. We're going to be doing these poses from a lunge initially, so just keep in mind you can stay in the lunge if you want to, or you can push up onto the toes and into the feet if you really choose to. This is meant to be easy, so listen to your body. Nobody can do this for you. So standing up at the front of the mat, however you want to. We're just going to hang here. We're going to stretch out our hamstrings because we're going to use them. Now forward bend. Forward bends are great. They are the one stretch that you can do in your body without having to warm up. You can support, if you can't touch the floor like myself, on the shins, on the knees, on the thighs, however you want to. If you have yoga blocks, you could use yoga blocks here to help assist. Yoga block for each hand if you have them. By all means, use what works best for you. Nice, straight, strong back here. As we go to the sky, you want to reach your hands as far to the back wall as you can. By all means, if you're not comfortable with reaching to the back wall, reach as far as you can. If to the sky is as far as you can reach back, that is totally fine. You will eventually one day get there. I post videos on my Instagram daily of the sun salutations that I do daily, on top of the posture and water drinking videos that I post here on YouTube. So inhaling, we're reaching all the way to the sky or to the back wall. Exhaling, we're coming back to our forward bend. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Supporting or dangling or touching. From here, right foot is going back into our lunge. From here, crescent pose. You're reaching the hands into prayer here and you're coming into the lunge. If you want to make it a little more difficult, you can lift the right knee off the floor and extend the hands behind the ears or to the sky for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, we're coming back down to that lunge. Left leg's coming back. We're going to a plank. Exhaling, hugging the elbows into the sides. Chaturanga here. Inhale, we're pushing forward into upward dog. Resting the knees, serpent pose. Knees off the ground, upward dog. Exhale, we're pushing back into downward dog. Pushing the floor with the index fingers and thumbs. Pushing the heels to the floor, sit bones to the sky. As we exhale, we're coming through with that left foot. I believe, yes, no, right foot. Making mistakes, fixing them on the fly. As we come into this, you might have to walk your foot up. That's totally fine. We're coming into crescent pose on this side. Reaching up to the sky with the hands, staying in the low lunge, or pushing into the toes, driving that left heel to the floor, reaching hands behind the head or to the sky for 3. Square up those hips as best you can. Drive that left hip down. Last breath here. Exhale, we're stepping forward to our forward bend. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold as far as you can. Drop the head. Inhale, we're looking up to the sky, reaching those fingertips to the sky or the back wall. Exhale, we're forward bending. Inhale, half lift, flat back, supporting, dangling or touching. From here, we're planting the hands, the left foot stepping back this time. Warrior 1. Same idea here. If you aren't pushing into the foot, that's fine. You can just stay here. It's kind of like crescent pose. If you are pushing into the foot, you want a 45-degree angle with your back foot. If you can see my back foot there, it's 45-degree angle out to the side. From here, we're squaring up the hips towards the front of the room. Drop into this front leg. If you can't, or you need a break, you can push out into it. Here we go. Reaching those arms into prayer behind the head or to the sky. Driving 3. For 2. For 1. Coming back down to that lunge. Stepping back to our plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Hug those elbows in. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. From here, walking that left foot up wherever you're at. If you're in that low lunge, you need to walk those toes forward once again. Go right ahead. Pushing into the back leg as best you can. Reaching those hands, prayer behind the head or to the sky for 3. For 2. And 1. We're coming back down to that lunge. Bring that right heel up. Right knee down. Stepping back, forward bend. Here we go. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale. We're going all the way to the sky or the back wall. With those hands, exhale, prayer, forward bend. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, right legs coming back. Into this, you have 3 options here. You can go inside or outside the foot, on the knee, or inside. Inside's a little more difficult. Outside's a little more easy. On the knee is even easier. Opposite hand is reaching overhead. We're opening the chest nice and wide. This is where I like to go to the inside of the foot. Reaching as far as you can, opening that chest nice and wide. With the eyes, we're looking to the roof, to our fingertips, or the eye of the elbow, overhead, wherever you prefer. That's 2 more. 1 more breath. And we're coming out of that. Back into our plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Oh, right foot's coming forward. Walk that foot up. Outside, on the knee. Inside, here we go. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Or opposite arm, exhale. Reach that arm overhead. My back just cracked. 4 and 5. Come out of that. From here, we're coming down to the knees. We're going to get onto the back, however you want to. Right hip, left hip, coming straight onto the back. We're getting straight into our Shavasana. We're going to roll onto the back first to help straighten the spine and get some kinks out of it. Hugging the knees in as best you can. If this is where you're at, or you're using your hands, you can hug your knees in. Wherever you're at, doesn't matter. From here, just rolling back and trying to roll the back out as best you can. Rolling as high onto the shoulders as best you can. From here, we're rolling onto the back, hugging those knees in once again. Happy baby here. If you want to, you can just keep the hands on the knees, hug the knees in all the way, or you can reach through the thighs to the outsides of the feet and hug the knees into the elbows or armpits. And just rock left and right. Very simple, very easy here. And then we're going to come straight into Shavasana. If you want to, you can get a blanket or a sweater to cover up. I'm going to turn around and walk us through some easy relaxation here. As we lie into our corpse pose, Shavasana, sleeping pose, I'm going to grab a sweater, cover up with. Basically, you want to start at your feet. You're going to open your feet as wide as you can, or whatever is comfortable for you, hip width apart, wider than your yoga mat or whatever is comfortable. Your toes are spanning towards the outside walls. You're relaxing from the heels and toes all the way up through the pelvis, in through our lumbar spine, at the bottom of our spine, and into our thoracic spine where our rib cage is. Once we get up towards the shoulders here, we're going to push into the backs of our elbows to roll the shoulder blades underneath. You can push into the back of the head as well to help. And what this does, it just, again, opens that rib cage, gets the diaphragm expanding and contracting very easily. Palms can rest face up, face down, or even on the chest here. I like my left hand on my heart center and my right hand on my stomach. You get to choose here. Once again, we're coming into the jaw and into the chin. We're tucking the chin down 1/2 inch to 1 inch to help extend through that cervical spine, help reduce the deformities of the phone, looking down at the phones of our generation. And really engaging into your breath here, breathing through the nose if you can, placing the tongue at the roof of the mouth where the teeth and the gums meet. And we'll spend about 5 minutes or so here, nice and easy breathing. Modify your breath here, 3-second inhales, 4-second exhales. Focus on the breath once again. Let go of everything that happened before we started. Let go of everything you need to do after we are done. Love yourself. Nobody can do it for you. Set some intentions here. Why are you practicing? To go for a longer run, to lift heavier weights, to touch your toes, to live longer. It's totally up to you, whatever you want to do this for. We're all just human. It's perfectly acceptable to choose something within the scope of humanity. Listening to the body, closing the eyes. If you're not comfortable with closing the eyes, find a dot on the roof to stare at. Let everything go here. Release yourself from the sensory organs of sight. Release yourself from the sensory organs of sound. Relax the sensory organs of smell. And lastly, resisting that urge to move, to fidget, to adjust your clothing, to scratch that itch. Feel the room temperature on the bare skin. And focus to the breath. Letting go of the modified breath, those 3-second inhales, 4-second exhales. And just let your breath happen naturally. From here, we're going to bring some gentle movement back into our body, starting by wiggling our fingers, wiggling our toes. Nice gentle movements to bring blood flow back to these areas, to our appendages, limbs. Some wrist and ankle rotations going, a few rotations one way, a few rotations the opposite way now. From here, we're going to flex into the abdominals and we're going to pull the knees back up to the chest. Hug those knees in once again, rock back and forth nice and gently. Or when you're ready, we're going to roll to our right side into a fetal position. Our right arm on the floor is going to reach overhead and we're going to rest our head on the bicep like a pillow. The opposite hand can rest in front of the face for stability or hug the knees in. A few nice deep inhales and exhales here. Keep the eyes closed if you want to.
from here, we're just pushing back up to a comfortable seated position.
Back into that easy pose. You can close the eyes here if you want to or not. Entirely up to you. From here, we're going to do some cleansing breaths. Get back into those sit bones once again. Nice deep inhale. As we exhale, we are going to sigh, an audible sigh. Like that. Just to help cleanse the body. Inhaling is very important, and exhaling is also very important, mainly because this helps to cultivate the inhaling the good and exhaling the bad. With the vibration, it helps to give a nice little massage to the spinal column as well. Nice deep inhale. Here we go. Inhale. Use the stomach. And sigh. Nice deep inhale. Here we go. And sigh. Hope you enjoyed this brief 30 minutes of yoga. A little bit less than 30 minutes because of preparation time, but super important to find what serves you best. Nobody can do that for you, so find what works good for you. Take what you can from this and apply it to your own practice, and you shall see some great benefits from practicing. See you next Wednesday for 15 minutes of easy yoga, and we'll get to the same practice, just a little more expedited for those who have less time in their day. Bye for now. Have a great day. Enjoy your sleep.